JJ Wright from the Seattle Seahawks, and you're watching NorbFam.
I'm DK Metcalf from the Seattle Seahawks, and you're watching NorbFam.
This is Walter Jones, Pro Football Hall of Famer, top 100.
Tyler Lockett from the Seattle Seahawks.
DK Metcalf.
Hey, Burleson, you're watching NorbFam.
NorbFam.
You're watching NorbFam.
I'm laughing because I can see Sky-High Aviation dancing to the title track. It's cracking me up. Welcome everybody to another. Well, it's a brand new show. We've come up with the title for this little triad of ours. We're calling it Hawks Real Talk with Sky-High Aviation and Nick LaBow, where we break down the plays of the previous game and look ahead to our upcoming opponent. Of course, we just had that game where we just destroyed the New York Giants back at Metlife Stadium, and now we face a healed up and much improved Cincinnati Bengals team. We're going to find out, is this Seahawks defense for real, or is this an anomaly? And what kind of game should we expect on Sunday? Let's bring the fellas in right now. Y'all ready? Let's do this thing. I've kind of forgotten how to do this. It's been such a long time. Because we had that bye week. Felt like, everything was like, just forgotten how to do everything. All right. There they are. There's the fellas. Up there in the middle of the screen, dancing to the title track. We've, of course, got Mr. Sky-High Aviation, also known as Jose, also known as future United Airlines pilot. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I've enjoyed this bye week, and I'm excited to get back. A lot of stuff has happened since then, and yeah, I'm excited. I think we got a good shot against this Bengals team this week. I'm excited. The Astros won, man. Life is good.
Oh, God. Let's leave baseball out of this conversation. That's the last thing I want to talk about right now. It's the Astros. But, hey, let's make sure we don't disregard our man from the kingdom over there on the far right of your screen, Mr. Nick LaBow, from a little hiatus of being off the show for a couple weeks. He's back and sounding good. Got a new microphone, the short
I know. Now you guys can hear me.
Everybody's got. You sound awesome, man.
And his teeth are fixed.
I didn't know they were broken. He looks good to me.
News to me. No, but it's good to be back. I had 2 weeks off. You guys had one, but Seahawks football's back on Sunday. Tough team, which we're going to talk a lot about. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get a few just thoughts on the game it seemed like eons ago, that Monday night game. That's what happens when you have a bye week. It just seems like so much time, so much happens, and it feels like it's in the past. But I just want to talk a little bit about that before we dive into the plays. Sky-High, just give me kind of your overview, your sort of summation of what you thought of the game last week. I know it's a lot to like, but was it all roses? Talk to me.
It wasn't a perfect game. I enjoyed it. I personally, that kind of it brought me back with some memories, I guess, with this team. But at the same time, this game wasn't perfect, but it was fun to watch. Obviously, it was a little bit interesting in the first half of the season of the game with the Geno Smith injury, and the offense kind of came out a little flat. I think this Giants defense, besides their poor tackling, is a little bit better than we expected. I think it was the second half. I think we made the adjustments. I think the defense was always going to have a successful game. Against the Giants. The Giants offense really just can't get much done. They haven't really been able to get much done at all this year. So I think Seattle, their defense played great in the second half. The sacks obviously were amazing. We're going into a week where Cincinnati's offensive line as well isn't the greatest. So I think we're going to scheme some stuff up. And it's going to be nice and interesting to see what we got planned for Joe Shiesty. I think we can pull this game out. It's just we got what were our score predictions last week, Norb? Or we'll get to that later. No?
Oh, we'll get to that because I forgot to prepare it, so we have to kind of figure that out. I know mine. I'll have to double check what yours was. I don't know if you remember yours. Mine's official because it's on the record, but I'm not sure. I don't remember what you have. Well, we'll talk about that because we're going to get to that point in a second. Nick LaBow, before we talk about the Bengals, I want to get your take on what you saw in that Giants game. Where were you watching that game, by the way?
I was at home watching it, but there was a lot to like. When you have 11 sacks on the defensive side of the football, 2 interceptions, 1 pick six. It's hard to not like it. We won 24-3. Defense played well, but again, kind of like Jose talked about, this competition on the offensive side of the ball wasn't that great. Their offensive line was non-existent. And then, I mean, when we did rattle Daniel Jones, got him to throw those 2 interceptions. But no, I mean, it was a great game. Offensively, I really liked Ken Walker. He had that awesome run that kind of got called back because he was down, but still just like the effort of it was great. You know, a lot to improve on, but I think we did a lot well.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot to like. And, of course, as we said about the Panthers game, and really the Lions game, too, every time you win, you kind of just think how great things were, when you could easily just kind of turn a couple plays and go, man, we were horrible that game if we lose. So the good thing is, like you guys brought up, in the pass rush, right? We've been talking about where's the pass rush. If you started seeing glimpses of it last or the week before, and then where did this multi-sack double-digit thing come from? I mean, it just exploded, and I'm thinking to myself, is this really how good we are, or are the Giants really that bad?
The Giants are really bad.
Okay, all right, the Giants are pretty bad. The Giants have been pretty bad, so I guess we can't be too proud of ourselves with that accomplishment. But you're right. All you can do is beat up on a team you're supposed to beat up on. So in the end, they did beat up on them. But like you said, Sky-High in the beginning, there were struggles by the offense. We came out a little bit flat. Yeah, the injury to injuries on various folks, but of course Jamal Adams getting hurt. 9 plays into the game. I'm glad to hear, though, he'll be back and he's going to be playing against Cincinnati. That bye week couldn't have come at a better time.
I think I had a role in that. And you remember how I mentioned that last week? We talked about how he was
I said, don't jinx it. Can you say, oh, man, I should have looked up what you said. But you said something like him getting injured early in the game or something. I mean, it was very, it's kind of scary the way you jinxed the game like that, but luckily it didn't cause us to lose. But don't do that again. Don't ever do that again, unless it's a good jinx.
I'll
just jinx Burrow.
Yeah.
But what was concerning is we all loved the pick six, and of course at that point it became a blowout. But they were marching down the field. They're at inside the 5-yard line. If they score, and most of the time most teams would find a way to punch that in. Just the Giants would find a way to blow it. But they score that. It's a 3-point game with our offense not really doing so much. So that was a pivotal point to turn it, but if you don't have that pick six and they score, all of a sudden this game is like, man, we're playing 3-point difference with the sucky Giants and starting to worry if we can pull this game out. So,
penalties.
Oh, penalties
Stupid
were crazy.
Penalties. Holy moly.
And they did have, on that interception play, they did have Darren Waller just wide open in the end zone.
Yeah, he did.
You hit that, and
I don't know why he's not looking at him. I mean, he's like one of your biggest targets out there, but
easily
that's kind of just the Giants season. But look at the stats. Geno was 13 for 20, 110 yards. I mean, you're not going to write home about that, but it was good enough. Drew Lock actually had a more productive day. If you just look at his handful of plays that he did, the 2 for 6, big play of 63 yards down the sideline. Thank you, Russell Wilson, for that. Kenneth Walker, did pretty good. He had a 4.5 yard per carry average, basically, and a big run of 31, which helped that. But still, minus the pick six, it's a whole different game. So, and we still needed all those 11 sacks to keep them from, having any chance of a comeback. So, I'm very interested to see what you guys think of where this is going to go. I mean, obviously, we got to be happy with the fact that we got what we got, but the nice thing is, just like the Bengals, they had kind of injuries with Joe Burrow early in the season, but he's healed up and played a lot better last week. Jamar Chase is going to be a handful to worry about, and then
they did play the Cardinals.
They did, but the Cardinals are not as bad as their record looks like. They should have.
Yeah. Well,
they should have lost to the Giants for that matter. But the Cardinals have played teams tough, so I don't know if they're as bad as the Giants, even though they lost to them. They just find ways to lose.
Team, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
True. That's a good point. But the good news is we are getting a lot of players back. We already said Jamal Adams, and on the offensive line, right? We're getting. Are we getting both tackles back, or just one of our tackles?
Just
we're
one.
Getting Phil Haynes and one of our tackles back. Yeah. So it's cross, right? But we still have Lucas not quite there yet, so we'll take it. Because we've been operating on, we were almost running on a lineman last week. So we got to take that in consideration too. So maybe that helps explain some of our struggles on the offensive side of the ball.
Crazy Ivan back at it again. Just first in our team with injuries.
Yeah.
I do want to address a couple questions that were out there. So Sam Dog knows about this. I've been chatting. He mentioned about time to unveil the new custom jersey. I do have a new custom jersey that I have recently got, and I want to show that to you. But I'm going to do it in a separate video because I feel like it needs to have its own thing. So it's coming. All this is happening tomorrow. And then the other big question that I've been getting a lot of hits on is, as Casey Sportsstern says, when's the prediction video dropping, man? The people are waiting. And I've been saying it's going to be next week. No, it'll be next week. It'll be next week. Well, it will be this week. It will be tomorrow. So it is, I'm putting the final icing on the cake. I've been working late nights trying to get all this done. So it is dangerously close. I got a couple more things to finish up, but it will drop tomorrow. So the whole enchilada, the whole season is going to air tomorrow. So I can't wait to show it to you guys. And I'm going to do another one of those contests for whoever can send me all the songs, the quickest year, artist, and song. If they can email me the correct list, the quickest will win some swag.
Rishi's definitely going to win that. He comes prepared, man.
He does.
He's ready to bring his game.
He definitely does.
Sam Dog, jersey review.
Yeah. So anyway, there's a lot of comments, so keep them coming, guys. But you guys ready to jump into some plays now?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we do it, just a reminder again for everybody. I'm going to pop a solo page up here. Just make sure you check out the Discord link. I put this Discord link in the chat as well. It's in the description. But these guys are heavily involved in Discord. Well, they were heavily involved prior, and they recently got involved. And we won't get into. Let's just say sometimes things become more interesting when there's some controversy involved, and there was some recent controversy involved in Discord. Nothing earth-shattering. Let's just say a few lines might have been slightly crossed over by the top, but we're not going to get into it because people are like, what are they talking about? This is inside stuff. I don't get it.
Don't use ChatGPT, kids. Don't use ChatGPT.
Well, and if you do, make sure you're very careful about what you use because you don't want to be caught red-handed with ChatGPT written across your hand as you're doing it. Okay. Oh, and Rishi is here. What does he say? He said, what? The prediction video tomorrow? The whole thing? OMG, OSG. Oh, and wait, put that up. I didn't see the whole thing. And yes, join NorbFam. NorbFam is a way that you can help support my channel with there's a link in the description for that as well. You can become a member, and it's a way to help support it. You also get certain access to things as a member. So appreciate that, Sky-High, for that reminder. Yeah. All right.
For those of you Norb lovers, you get access to his CCTV cameras. So you can watch Norb.
This is how Discord controversies get started. Yeah. Okay. Exactly. Let's get to the plays. Now, I have to warn you. Last time, Sky-High rose to the occasion, went next level, and he pre-ripped the plays so that we can have it all without that gray screen. Well, he had an exam today. And he didn't have time to do all that prep stuff. So, unfortunately, we'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. But we'll still be able to watch it.
I passed the exam. That's what matters, though, right?
Well, that's it. But, you got to get your priorities straight. I understand. School's more important than NorbCam live streams.
No, NorbCam is more important. Just you wait and see.
Just not today, apparently.
Just not today.
Okay. All right. Let's jump into it. I'm going to pull up your screen. You ready for the first one?
Yeah, Broncos country, let's ride. All right. Okay. I'm just going to let this play out, but before we're going to give a little backhand. So this is the first drive of the game, and it's if you watch any of the Philadelphia Eagles plays, you'll understand what this play is immediately, but this is a fourth down here, and we talk about setting the tone here. Let's hope the gray screen goes away. It does. If you immediately recognize this play, some people call it the expert QB sneak. It's called the tush push. Is what other people call it. The brotherly shove. The brotherly
shove.
Pay attention to 64 here on the left side. And we're going to put that back here for just a second. I want you to... Stupid camera. Pay attention to 64. He's down there behind Daniel Jones. He kind of pushes him here, and this is a fairly straightforward play. Everybody behind the quarterback is going to be required to essentially push the quarterback over the line. And what he does, here we go. We're bringing out the crappy gray screen. I'm sorry, everyone. Don't kill
It's
me.
okay. We can live with it.
What he does is he gets to Daniel Jones, and the rest of the guys get to Daniel Jones late. The Seahawks defense, and the way that you beat this play is the Seahawks defense does the right thing, and they get to Daniel Jones before those two guys get to him, essentially. But no, not before those two guys. Those three guys get to him. So essentially, they're kind of prepared for it. They know this is about to happen. They jump the gun. They time the snap perfectly, and they end up stunting him and keeping him from getting that first down. Daniel Jones, one of the more athletically gifted quarterbacks in terms of running and in terms of being able to execute that play, probably in the NFL. But Seattle, that's setting the tone right there. And I could tell from the first few plays that Seattle's defense kind of was a bit off balance. The Jamal Adams thing had happened, and I think that was a good setup for kind of setting the tone on how they wanted to play this game. I'm not going to throw any hate towards the Giants' offensive line, but if we play Philadelphia towards December, but there's a chance we're going to see. They know how to run it right, so there's a chance that we're going to see it. So it's good to get that down. So,
well, I'm glad you brought that play up, because when you hear the league already, they were debating about making that an illegal play over the offseason, but they chose not to do it. Now everyone's up in arms, going, "Oh, the Eagles are unstoppable. We need to ban that play." But well, apparently it's not unstoppable for everybody, because we stopped the Giants on doing it. Apparently you have to do it well for it to be unstoppable. And the Eagles, it hasn't been 100% perfect. I think like 99% of the time they've gotten it, 98 or something like that. But that's kind of my feeling is, if it's so unstoppable, then everybody should just do it.
Yeah.
But why doesn't everybody do it? Because they don't know how.
Personnel too. The Eagles' offensive line, from left tackle to right tackle, they are just elite. And I mean, they know how to run it. They practiced it. They ran it last year. They're pros at it.
Well, and it helps that you've got Jalen Hurts, who's like a monster strong guy who's like 220, and he's like just leg muscles, from here to the moon. So that helps too. So it's not an unstoppable play. It's an unstoppable team running a really effective play at this point. So we'll see what happens with it. But I don't feel like that should be bad. It's kind of like them phasing the kickoffs. I'm really not a fan of the fact that they've taken my favorite play out of the NFL. It's very frustrating.
Awful.
That's why whenever somebody gets like a kickoff return for a touchdown, I inside celebrate greatly, because you see so few kick returns these days. All right, ready to move on?
Of course we're ready to move on.
All right, let's do it.
This should be the second play, or first play of the second drive. We talk about Shane's famous recipe, and this is probably my most favorite play. We saw this in Detroit, I think, once, but it's just got to be my most favorite play. It's like you can be. I'm not throwing any hate at Geno, but you could be the worst quarterback. You could be you could be DJ Dallas for all I care playing quarterback, and it's almost impossible to miss this throw to Noah Fant here. And people are saying, "Well, why didn't you throw it to Tyler Lockett?" Well, the safety up here has got Tyler Lockett covered pretty well. So this is what, again, I think makes Geno great, in the sense that there's Ken Walker in the motion. You can always have a Seahawks motion. Guys come over, that safety's over. Lockett doesn't really throw a great block, but either way, Fant gets the first down. So we talk about Shane's famous recipe, using that pistol formation to our advantage. DK's already stuffing hands and faces. This is gonna be a great game, right? Using these two tight ends here, and then Ken Walker bounces out. And this whole offensive line, well, you think that this is going to be a run play to the strong side here, to the strong side gap here, where majority of the Seahawks where the majority of the Seahawks players are lined up. In fact, it's not. Ken Walker looks like he's going to go out for a possible screen. Geno says, "Come back." Snaps the ball, fakes it. The entire offensive line is going to shift in this direction. And everybody's just kind of going to go opposite, because look at the commitment from these three Giants players. They didn't study their film, did they? So unfortunately, these guys have no chance at getting anybody. And maybe if Geno throws the ball now, he can get it to Lockett, but that's a real tough throw. The easy play is to get it to Noah Fant.
And that safety was closing pretty quick.
Yeah, that safety was closing pretty quick, and that's just bread and butter right there. Shane's famous recipe when we talk about it, right?
That play looks like it should be a gimme every time, but it all depends on how that end plays it. Because if that end doesn't give up outside contain and he stays out there, you'll see sometimes a quarterback will roll right into the face of that tight end and get sacked, or he'll knock the ball down or tip it and pick it off. So it's not like it's just a gimme. It all depends on how smart that end plays it. Of course, it all helps too. If you have a good running game and they got to respect it, sometimes that end goes crashing because feels like he's got to help pursue on the backside, and then that plays wide open.
The little just stunts that the offensive line can do just to trick them,
Yeah.
Tight ends. Even the back too. Walker kind of scurried out and then came quick back. So yeah, all part of the act.
You gotta love the way they use the tight ends though. I think Seattle is always in a good position in the game when the tight ends are getting action and we're running the football.
We love our tight ends.
What's that?
We love our tight ends.
We love our tight ends. They do everything. They catch, they block, they run down the field like a receiver. It's awesome.
Right. All right, we're ready for our next play. Now, we're going to have our own personal Devon Witherspoon highlight reel at some point, but for now, we'll keep him out of it. So by now, the Witherspoon sack has occurred, but this play, this is I think the third Giants drive here in the first quarter. Similar formation that the Seahawks run, a tight end here in motion, and Daniel Jones is just going to get the ball stripped from him. Jordan Brooks kind of goes backwards for a second. Julian Love's like, get out of my way. And we're gonna get a much better look at it here. In Seattle, showing a blitz with Jordan Brooks, and they bring it with him. And it's not Jordan Brooks that gets home. It's Nwosu, followed by Mario Edwards. I believe that's Mario Edwards. Yeah, that is Mario Edwards. Mario Edwards getting home with the sack. Oh, wow, what a catch.
Let's see number 93, Cameron Young, on the block at the very end of the play.
Oh, yeah, downfield.
Threw him down.
Cameron Young, who I've been impressed with to start this year. Look at him stay tuned with the quarterback. If Daniel Jones doesn't go down there, Cameron Young's got a good shot at him. Oh, what a hit. 17 just gets right back up. He's like, yeah, I don't want to deal with that. So this is just it's good to see these kinds of plays again from the Seahawks.
How did this happen? How did they get through?
Well, they got through here by simply just being better and more aggressive than the Seahawks offense, not the Seahawks, but this Giants defensive line. So obviously they're going to bring in motion here. This is going to grab the attention of pretty much Nwosu and Brooks. And okay, they have somebody accounted for it. Love is the guy who's supposed to be following him around here. And Witherspoon's actually coming on a blitz. So this is the second time that they've blitzed Witherspoon this game. And Seattle, similar to what the Giants do, they kind of shift all the way to the left side thinking that this play is a run, but they stay home, right? These guys everybody's well covered back here. There's nowhere to really throw it. Maybe Jones, if he sees him at the last second, can get it out to him, but Julian Love has got that covered. Well, Nwosu's already home. He shed his block pretty easily. And Witherspoon kind of fakes his blitz. He goes right back out. We talk about Young, who probably has a good chance to get home. And then Mario Edwards breaks away from the guard here, and Jones is completely oblivious at this point. He has no clue what's going on. Boom, strip sack. Ball's on the ground. Jordan Brooks has got it. We'll get a better look at it here because we're looking at it pretty much vertically on the field now. Look at that. What positives I like to see is even though there's only about two guys that get home, everybody's in the backfield. Even if Daniel Jones stands in the pocket, it's not a clean pocket for him.
No. I
know the play was a design rollout, but that's good job by the Seattle Seahawks right there. Just beating your man one by one. And that's just what's so impressive, what I thought was so impressive, even though we were playing the Giants. But it's so impressive from this team that we saw. So I'm very happy to see that.
That was another example. It's not exactly the same play as what you showed from that, the tight end pass, but it was kind of similar in that it was direction to the left and then he rolled to the right and Nwosu was right there crashing down on him. Yeah. So, if he doesn't come after him like he does, who knows, how much time he might have rolling out to the right, but that never happened because Nwosu was right in his face.
And the tackle too on the play went into Brooks instead of kind of covering Nwosu. I think he must have thought he was going to drop out and cover guy on the motion, but
Like on
so
the
that
flat.
helps too.
You know, one thing I think this team can improve on, Seattle, is wrapping up in the sense. Wrapping up, being able to wrap up, make tackles with their players, with our guys. So we've seen a lot of guys being able to get home on stunts and rushes, but I think we haven't been able to execute to the finest when it comes to getting as many sacks as we should.
Absolutely.
And tackling was a big problem last year. This year it doesn't seem as much as a bigger problem because we're being able to stop the run. We have pretty good tacklers in the secondary, and our linebackers are pretty good. So just being able to be perfect at the fundamentals of football is something that I think we're improving on, but I think obviously still needs good improvement.
And I think you brought it up earlier too, the penalties. We got in our own way, just like every single play. It almost felt like every play had a penalty for a while. It was just like this game is just chomping along because it was just like, okay, there's a play, penalty, a play, penalty. I mean, it felt like 5 or 6 in a row, and all against Seattle. It was a messy game, which of course never helps your offense go anywhere. Whether it was holding, whether it was illegal false starts, whether it was DK stepping out of bounds. We found all kinds of ways to get penalties in that game. So fortunately, the defense made up for it. The defense definitely won this game. And that play you just showed, we just handed the offense the ball at the 7-yard line. So you think about it, the touchdowns, right? I mean, basically the one great offensive drive that we had the offense earned themselves was one big breakaway play that locked through to Fant down the sideline. Outside of that, it was like a handoff from the defense. Say, here you go, just walk on in, and then the pick six. I mean, those were our touchdowns. So the offense really didn't do that much.
There are teams that are undisciplined, like the Giants are, and I don't know how many other teams we're going to play this year that are as undisciplined. I think Washington's Washington's offense can be disciplined at times. They come in with a really well-coached coaching staff. I think Cleveland's defense is, oh my gosh, Cleveland's defense is the best in football. Their offense is an afterthought at times. And I think in the future we're going to have to kind of, got to cut down on the mistakes and cut down and be a bit more effective in the sense that we got to be able to know our assignments and do it right, because if not, these teams will take advantage of it. And I think this next play, is going to be pretty fun because a lot of people are going to be like, well, DK Metcalf's a genius. And I think he is. And I think Geno Smith's a genius. And this is something that's called chemistry that you build.
I've been waiting for this because I know what play you're going to put up, and I haven't been able to see a good copy of how he got open because everything on TV, all you see is the catch, and I've been dying to see how he got open. So I'm glad you're going to bring this up. I assume this is the play you're going to bring up, but
right.
Yeah. So
we're
a quick shout out. We're one with each other. I do want to shout out to Sam Dog, the infamous 253. He was in New York for the weekend for Monday night, but he not only went to the Monday night game for the Seahawks where that interception came right to him. He also went to the Chiefs game the night before. So he went back-to-back games, prime time at Metlife. I mean, that's pretty cool. That's one of the nice things of having a stadium that hosts two teams playing back-to-back on prime time in the same city. You can actually do that. So good on him for having a great weekend. That was a pretty cool experience for the Sam Dog. All right, let's do this.
Stupid Jets get America's Game of the Week again.
Right. Too much prime time.
Too much prime time. All right, here we go. Norb's play. Seahawks 4 wide receiver set. This is a rare look for us, and it's obviously probably going to be a pass play. Geno bounces out to the right. Pay attention to DK Metcalf. I want you to watch something here, and we'll put it back here before we look at this angle. Watch DK Metcalf's eyes the entire time. He knows he's not open. Tyler Lockett's moving around. He knows there's a scramble drill. Geno Smith's ready to throw this ball. And DK Metcalf has the defender. I'm going to highlight here. Has the defender completely turned around. Oh, I got to update these other colors. Wow. I guess I'm poor. Wow. Okay. There's Metcalf. His eyes are on Geno Smith. So wherever Geno Smith throws this ball, DK Metcalf has an immediate advantage because none of his defenders here know that his back is turned. They're all looking at Geno. DK, wherever this ball is thrown, is immediately just going to bounce there. And Geno knows, well, if I'm going to pretend to be Geno for a second, I'm thinking, okay, where can I put this ball where DK Metcalf has the best chance of catching it? Ideally, it would be this corner here, right? And we've seen Russell Wilson make these kinds of plays before, and that's what this reminded me of. And DK does instead of immediately preparing for himself to go after the ball, he waits until the very last second to set himself up to make that catch. And at that point, it just becomes an easy catch, right? Because he's tracking him the entire way. DK at the last moment.
Oh, man, that's how he did it.
There is nothing, absolutely, and when I say nothing, there is absolutely nothing that defender could have done, because he's like, oh, crap, DK just either faked me out.
He had no idea the ball was coming out. Yeah. I mean, he just was like, wait, what? How did that get there? Because he just had his back turned to the quarterback. That was really okay. That explains it. Because every time I've seen it, it looks like he just suddenly dove for the ball, and that's kind of what he did. He just played statue and then dove for the ball. Pretty good. That's very sneaky. That's some good development by DK there. Just being, they talk about that too, right? A good receiver hides the fact that the ball's coming in, even as they're streaking down the field. You're not supposed to be like, and let the defender know the ball's incoming. The idea is you just keep running, and then at the last second, bring your hands up. That way, the defender doesn't know to put his hands up to deflect it because they don't know idea that the ball's incoming. So that's kind of the same thing, except his whole body was the trick. That's cool. Nice breakdown.
Yeah, exactly. One thing that I think we're going to jump right into the second half here, because we're going to look at the defense. We'll look at the defense, especially Devon Witherspoon later. But the second half, what I liked is the Seahawks protected Geno, and we got the run game going. There's one run from Kenneth Walker. We'll let this play out because Ken Walker, he had a great second half. And you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Mike Holmgren's offense. Holmgren's offense it didn't involve these kinds of formations, but it involved a lot of pitches, a lot of real pitches that go straight up the gut pretty much. In this play, oh my goodness, Zach Charbonnet. Pretty much the exact same play, except you run to the right side. What a hole. Oh, lower the shoulder. Chap Morton's out of his seat of his pants. He's like, oh my gosh, I've never seen a play like this before. And they're talking about the motion. It's open up. Jake Curry didn't even need to block anybody. He's just like, oh, I'll just keep running. Pete Carroll's like, woo, this is great. We're having fun here. Guarantee you this play's probably a run play too. Tight end, how about you pitch it to the left side? Oh, it doesn't work this time. The Giants already have hurt. So third time's a charm right there for the Giants. But the run game in this second half, I think, in essence, we needed it because we, first of all, wanted to run out the clock. Second of all, to protect Geno. And third of all, it was successful. We ended up running the ball very, very successfully. So I think the Bengals, what are they in run defense? I don't think they're that great, but I think we're going to be able to – I think Ken Walker might – a little prediction possibly. Ken Walker and Zach Charbonnet might run for as many yards as Joe Burrow throws possibly. Oh, I am as confident as that.
Wow.
With our run game and with
now, if he could put up the yards that Burrow put up last week, he just set all kinds of records. I think Jamar Chase alone, didn't he get like close to 200 yards receiving? Just him alone?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's like the DJ Moore thing with the Bears.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What are going on that? Kind of to what you said too, Jose, with that Mike Holmgren offense. I mean, that's West Coast offense. That's Mike Holmgren, if you guys didn't know, offensive coordinator under Bill Walsh. Really, he involved the West Coast offense in all his offenses. Shane Waldron, he's down that tree too. So I think that's where you kind of start to see that connection.
It is pretty cool to see it coming together. We kind of expected it. I think I'm guilty of this too, but I wanted it right away. I wanted to see immediately the Shane Waldron. We're all going, where's this Shane Waldron offense everyone was talking about? It's been working so well in LA. We wanted it to just suddenly appear here, but it took some time. It took a while to kind of get all the pieces, and you have to have all the
finding the right personnel.
The right personnel, because sometimes it just doesn't work. It's just like that still mysterious screen game I don't know when that'll ever happen again, but we have not been able to run your basic halfback screen in I don't know how many years. It just doesn't work for us. I don't know why, but it's a tricky thing. It looks easy when good teams run it, but if you don't, it's a disaster. And whenever we do it, it's always a disaster. It's like a -5 yards on the play if we ever try to run it. So maybe someday they'll get that going. But
yeah, comes from that Bill Walsh, Mike Shanahan coaching tree. The Mike Shanahan coaching tree is so awesome to look at. You got the LaFleurs, the LaFleur brothers. You got McVay. You got Brandon Staley, D'Amico Ryans. You just got everybody. You've got 2/3 of the NFL that comes from Mike Shanahan's little coaching tree that comes from there. So yeah, we're gonna get into the Devon Witherspoon highlights now. How about that? Right?
Okay. All right. Let's do it.
This is our first play that we're gonna look at. It's a little bit out of order, but you can't throw at. No, I'm not gonna say it, but Legion of Boom-esque. Devon Witherspoon shoots the gap perfectly here. And
that's
you can
Cam
see him,
Chancellor-esque right there.
That is Cam Chancellor.
Mini style.
That's why we drafted him. Hit
exactly.
hard, tackle.
Hawks see a lot of motion. The Giants, Darius Slayton is supposed to come up and block here, but Devon Witherspoon reads the play perfectly. He knows that gap is going to be open here. Slayton is late to his assignment, and all Devon Witherspoon's got to do is, oh my goodness, Pete is frothing at the mouth. Look at that tackling form. Arm is out. The crown may be a little bit down, but he's going to hit him right in the chest right there. Kids, if you want to learn how to play tackle football, this is how you play. You knocked him right down, and he immediately goes into celebration mode. He's like, you can't try that on me. You can't try that on me. He reads that perfectly, and I mean perfectly. And Slayton throws the block at the last part. He just gives him a little shove like nothing's going to happen of it. And when we talk about when the Giants talk about that in the film room, they're going to talk about that the better attitude and the better mindset of wanting to win. That play is going to show up in the film room when it comes to effort and when it comes to stuff like that. The Giants have not shown that.
Nick said that's why we drafted him. I remember the first video clip I ever saw of Devon Witherspoon was that, I think we've all seen it. It's I can't remember the team it was against, but it was some kind of a pitch to the left, and he comes up and just decleats the dude, right? I mean, it's very Cam Chancellor-esque for sure. And I saw that, I was like, oh man, if he could do those types of hits with this, oh man, he's gonna be fun to watch. And that was very much that kind of play that he was famous for.
Yeah.
Ready for the next?
Yeah. Why not?
Do you want to add something to that, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, I think when we did draft him too, obviously to play cornerback with the 5th overall pick, that's a really high pick. Pete definitely saw this. There's so much film of him just hitting hard, tackling, which is kind of something we've also struggled with a little bit in prior years is, letting the run game go through. It's cleaned up a lot this year, but also not being able to clean it up in that second level. I think with our recent picks, that's certainly what we've been cleaning up.
You're scaring me. You're scaring me, Sky-High.
I'm not trying to scare you, I promise. You ever played a
collab with Tom Grossi? I have collabed with him before, and if we play them again, I will definitely do that. Oh, we're playing, this is just quick aside. So, a couple of collabs planned this year. So, we play the Ravens, and we play the Eagles. So, I'm going to be doing a collab with Ingraven in advance of our Ravens game. So I'm looking forward to doing a little pre-game breakdown with him on that. And then I reached out to Delia of the Philadelphia Eagles. And as you may know, we've collabed multiple times over the years, since like 9 years ago. And she's down for it. I mean, why wouldn't she, right? She's undefeated and team's looking pretty dang awesome. So we're gonna do something. Some kind of collab. I don't know. We've done Eminem every single time. We might have to do another Eminem just to complete the
You can't collab with the other. You can't collab with the other Philly YouTuber.
Oh, no, not anymore.
Not anymore.
It's funny. I just watched that recently. The most recent rap battle that we did, and I had I can't even say EDP 445 was on there back when he was still allowed on YouTube, and.
bad
Yeah, it
things
was.
have happened.
I had to bleep the heck out of it. It was hilarious. But
That name, maybe that
anyway.
was a sign.
Maybe it was. I mean, he never held back anything until kind of got caught red-handed. Anyway.
Leave it to Gideon to
so
find
there you
that
go.
out. Leave it to Gideon for him to find that stuff out. He's a YouTuber. All right, here we go.
All right, let's go.
Let's continue the spoon compilation. I've got a nice little feature that we're going to look at. It's called the little spotlight. And this is the first sack of the game, actually. Whoa! Spotlight on Smithers. Boom! Speed. I'm Speed. Look at that. Oh, shoot. It's just taking us to the next play. And I want you to see here, Witherspoon, and this is sort of what Jamal Adams is going to do here. They timed this blitz perfectly because, right, Slayton's looking at him. He's like, shit, he's going to blitz. Oops, my bad. He's in motion.
That's probably what he said, though.
And he just gets unblocked. And I remember so many times this happened to Russell Wilson actually a lot in Denver. He gets hit a lot, unblocked. But Daniel Jones just has no time to throw this ball. He's actually going to step up, I think, and scramble up here. And there's a possibility that he gets somebody open here. But he just gets no chance. And Witherspoon can't miss a tackle like that because I've seen tacklers miss tackles like that.
Isn't that a little bit on Daniel Jones to recognize that he's blitzing?
Yeah.
Or is it just so perfectly timed that it was too late? But I know it's kind of on his blind side. It's on his away side. But he's looking straight at the line. I would think he should see that. But it was just, I mean, maybe it's just a perfectly timed blitz, and there's nothing you can do about it.
It looks like a perfectly timed blitz and nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do to protect it either. I mean, the only thing you could probably do is just shift the running back over here and call for protection. But at that point,
but that's only if he recognizes it before the snap. You know what he could do here is if he sees it at the last second, and this brought me back because I was looking for some clips to use in my prediction video. It brought me back to the Dallas Cowboys game of 2014. I don't know if you guys remember the dreaded Cowboys game where we lost to Tony Romo and those guys right before going to St. Louis to play the Rams, and it was the game leading up to the week that we released Percy Harvin. Remember that? I mean, it was like when all of a sudden our post-Super Bowl team was like, what is going on with this team? But we lost to Tony Romo and the Cowboys, and they had I'll never forget that play, 3rd and 21. We had this game in hand if we just get them stopped on that play. But the guys blitzed. I think it was Bruce Irvin was blitzing just like this, except, it was actually that same exact side. Blitzing off the edge, and he had a beeline to him, but he saw him at the last second and spun out of it, did like a Russell Wilson spin, and he basically whiffed at air, and then he ends up hitting Slayton or somebody 22 yards down the field for a toe-tapping first down, and eventually led to a game-winning touchdown. But that was how you can get out of this. There is a way to get out, even though it's a perfectly timed blitz. But maybe Devon Witherspoon's next level.
Yeah. Those are the days when I was like up at 6 a.m. watching NorbCam. Like I remember watching the Percy Harvin got traded or released video, and I was like, it was like 6 a.m, and I stole the iPad, and I was like, oh my God. We're gonna do terrible this year.
I know. The sky was crashing down at that point.
The sky was coming down. All right,
Anyway, back to the play. More of the Witherspoon highlights.
Not much in return either. More Witherspoon.
Give me more spoon.
There he is again. There's a spotlight. My handy dandy spotlight work. Well, actually, this is the play that we saw earlier. Whoopsie.
Hey, we can never get enough. We can never get too much of it. All right, here we go.
Well, here we go. I meant to get to this one. All right, more spotlight work done by me. I take full credit. Just kidding. Oh, the internet wants to be crappy now, doesn't it?
While we're waiting for that spinning circle. So you made these spotlights within the program? Is that what you're saying?
No, I went on Twitter and found the video.
Dude, you had me fooled. You should have just went with it. I was going to back you up on that one.
I wanted you to make me. I wanted you to make me feel be proud of me for like a moment.
I am proud of you. And even if you didn't tell me the truth, I would have been proud of you. Because you're resourceful.
You may have to cut back to me so I can reveal my secrets. And there we go. Let me reload the page.
Okay.
So, so the picture loads again. Every single stream we have together, nothing can ever go right 100% of the time.
That's just how live streaming is. It's green screens fall over behind you. It's just kind of how it goes.
Stop. It's just my
Wonder who
luck.
that happened to.
There he is right here, if you can't see him. And this is going to be a quick bubble screen to Paris Campbell. Jones kind of fakes it. Either way, Darrell Taylor's through 2 guys already. He does. I don't know what this play call is now that I think about it, because there's no room to run. I don't know if this is like a triple option, a read option, some sort of play where Daniel Jones can change the call, but this is going to go nowhere. And first of all, he's in a cutting position, right? So he's in a cutting position. He's already about 2 yards away, ready to make the tackle, and he just hits him. He hits him. It's like a body blow. At that point, you just got no chance but to fall down, and he's just going to celebrate in your face. And what do you know? There he goes again, off the blitz, and you can't. It breaks off his blitzer right there, forces him an incomplete pass. Oh, then we'll get to the really nice.
That was
play.
impressive speed to go change direction because he's coming inside
Exactly.
and to go outside.
Super impressive speed for just a good guy, right? Jamar Chase for just someone who's like, yeah, they good, they decent, right? Yeah. So that's kind of the deal. Now we're gonna get to the real good play. You can't throw at D Witherspoon, right? Hit. Possible new video coming up. I don't know. We'll see. Norb's got to make it. But Russell Wilson throwing to the end zone. Caught! Touchdown Broncos. All right, I shouldn't get distracted. Well, first of all, Devon Witherspoon said in his press conference, said in the interview that he had with during TNF, and he said Daniel Jones will always stare down his first target. Let's see if this is true. So far, he's really made eye contact with the correct guy, and that's Waller up here, I believe. He's still making eye contact.
Yes.
Who's he throwing this ball to? Well, he's throwing it to Campbell, who's throwing the little in route here. It's up, follow my mouse, up and in like that. And
you know what? If he throws that right, that could be a touchdown.
That could be a touchdown because Bobby's not going to get him in time.
He's going to be late. All he do is he just has to catch it and fall forward.
Yeah.
So
but you're right. Waller's also wide open into the corner for a fade right there. He's wide open. I don't know what he was thinking. That's why.
Well, now that I think about
that's
it,
why the coach threw the iPad or the Surface on the ground or out of frustration because he probably saw you had 2 guys you could have scored a touchdown with.
Well,
and probably 3 if you look at the guy in the slant above too.
Fluster the quarterback. That's what happens.
The defender's right there and Diggs is right there. So it all depends where his eyes go, right? You can't just say he's open here because there's a defender here and there's a defender there. Chances are defender drops back here if he pump fakes the ball. Let's just watch it here. He jumps this route perfectly, and I'm losing it in my dorm room right now probably.
We were going crazy.
Jones missed.
I'm going crazy. My reaction. I posted
Julie
the reaction.
Love.
Everybody around the country is going crazy except in New York.
But Tariq Woolen's keeping pace with him, just jogging. It's great. It's all good. I kind of lost it so much so that people started coming in my room. Why are you being so loud? Well, the Seahawks just scored a touchdown, and this is huge, right? So yeah, I would like to say whoever it was that almost caught up to him, because Spoon's pretty fast. Daniel Jones is
this number 0.
Paris Campbell. Daniel Jones is like a porcelain doll. He can't really.
Right. No quarterback's making that tackle.
That tackle. So yeah, let's cut back before I get it, so I don't get exposed. Yeah, what do we think of D Witherspoon's performance?
Hard to complain.
Defensive player of the week. I mean, he earned it, right?
Keep him in the box too. I mean, he's great on the ball. Just around, he's everywhere. Keep him where the action is.
So we can.
What I'm really curious about, what we got teased by it, but then he got injured. So that's really what Jamal Adams would do, right? He would be at the line of scrimmage making tackles on the running backs. He'd be blitzing and getting sacks. He wouldn't be getting much pick sixes, but all that other stuff he was doing, that's kind of what he does too. So we kind of got 2 guys who can do sort of the same thing. And he got injured so early, we never even got to see like the brand new shiny, a fully decked out and detailed car was just getting pulled out of the garage. And before it even got fully out of it, they said, "Oh nope, we're pulling it back in." So we got teased on what they were going to do with him. So I'm really, interested to see how they scheme him up, because now you got two guys who are like heat-seeking missiles with, you know.
Had Michael Jackson on the other side. So,
and Jose, you're not allowed to talk about Jamal Adams. Just no words about him.
Oh, that's right. You cannot speak.
Denver Broncos going for 2 here. We've got a quick score updated. It's 6-16 with 6:07 in the ball game. 18 seconds on the play clock. Fourth quarter.
They're going to try to make this a one-score game.
The 2-point game. Russell Wilson hands it off to the running back. He makes the play into the end zone. It is 2. It is 8-16 now. Denver has made it interesting. Russell Wilson, comeback kid. Broncos country. Let's ride. Jerry Jeudy getting traded. Russell Wilson getting traded. Frank Clark getting traded. Let's go to the sack compilation. Norb, are you sure you're not going to get copyrighted for this? Because it's got the ESPN score bucket.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Coaching too.
Proven his worth.
Schemes.
Yeah. I mean, we had Tom Cable at some point, so we had Tom Cable at some point.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago.
Stop missing tackles. It was at a Seahawks game in 2016. We were on opposite sides of the field, and we were both trying to get meet players, and we were like, and he was like yelling at me, and I was yelling at him. I was like in 6th grade at this time when this was happening, but we were like yelling at each other. He pointed out my jersey. He's like, "You in the '88 jersey." So yeah, we had a little momentary beef, and I knew who he was at that time. I knew who Sam Dog was. I knew that he's got his thing. He was asking. I think he was asking one of the guys with the cameras to capture him and Russell. They had a handshake that was given at the time. And at this point, I believe it. Sam Dog's there every day. He's such a dedicated fan that he knows. He probably knows every player at this point.
Well, the thing about Sam Dog's just got a voice that just projects. I mean, when he yells, it's like, I can't even imitate it because I can't even get to half the decibels. I wish I had the lungs he had, because it would be a powerful tool to have. I'd be able to scream like he does. So when he yells, I mean, it's just like, it just cuts through the noise, and you can just hear him from halfway across the field, no matter how loud it is in the stadium. So he puts that voice to good use before every game, hyping up the players and all that. So
12th man. That's where it's
12th
at.
man. That's 12th man right there.
It is.
And so let's get back to this video. We've got about a minute left. There's "You Can't Throw at D Witherspoon." Yeah.
Beating up the tackles.
Miles
Adams even gets into the action.
I'm a big Miles
At
Adams
this point, I'm like, why do they leave him in there? They're just trying to.
Mafe, I've been so impressed. Mafe, when we look at the statistics, Mafe has the 3rd highest pass rush win rate in the NFL, followed by the 9th is Darrell Taylor. So those are 2 young 2nd, 3rd year guys that are actually having good impact on pass rush. People say, absolutely. I've got to see a better game to have pass rush improvement. There's pass rush. There's statistics to prove that our guys are improving, especially Mafe and Taylor. That is so good to see.
And our numbers would be so much higher because there's just so many sacks that should be sacks, but just can't clean it up. Wrap them up.
There's another sack. Oh,
right.
wait, Norb's not showing.
Oh, wait. Back to it.
We've got more sacks. That's Nico Thorpe with the head with the visor in the middle for some reason. But yeah, that it's all good, right? We're all having fun, right? We're all having a good time.
Absolutely.
This is what it's like. But obviously, we got some stuff to clean up. But it's good to have a game like this, right? It boosts your team morale. It boosts the confidence in everybody, regardless of who you play. It's fun, right? This is fun football. Everybody's having fun. Pete Carroll is jumping up and down like a 6-year-old. I mean, it's great. It's great to see. This fires everybody up. And I think the bye week is good for us because we're getting healthy now. And I think this is the game where majority of America is going to be seeing it at the 1 p.m. time slot. I think this is the chance that this is a game that we get a chance to show what we're made of, especially against a team that was in the AFC Championship, right? Weren't they in the AFC? Yes. They were in the AFC Championship last year. So this is a team
Super Bowl the year before. I mean,
Super Bowl the year before. This is a big test. This is a big test.
Weapons.
And yeah, I think we can jump into that now because we're done. We're done.
Yeah, let's So let's put that big win behind us, and now let's talk a little bit about our opponent coming up. As I kind of teased at the beginning, the Bengals weren't quite the Bengals we expected coming out. still not even at 500. But the last game, they looked a lot more like the Bengals of the last few years, with Jamar Chase lighting it up, seemingly getting back on track. And maybe it is that Joe Burrow's getting a little bit healthier. But I don't know. What do you guys think? What is it going to take for us to beat them on their soil? Because I think the last time we played them, it's been a while, but we lost. If it's the last game that I recall, when we were in Cincinnati, it's not the game that we were like ahead by a huge margin, and then we let the lead slip away, and then we ended up losing in overtime. Was that the last time we were in Cincinnati, or am I thinking too far back?
Yeah, no, that's right.
That was it, right? In 2015, I believe.
Yeah, that game was so bad to watch. That was so.
We were up I want to say like at least it was double-digit points that we were ahead by, and we just let that thing slowly slip away. That
was the season where we couldn't finish ball games. We were struggling big time. I think this was like the week before Carolina came in, and they came back from 10 down. It was just those were rough games and times. And then a few weeks later, Russell Wilson found his best friend Thomas Rawls, and we started scoring 35 points a game, and our defense had been consistent up to that point. But yeah, I think that game was a really tough game in the sense that you have the lead going into like 5 minutes in the fourth quarter and you blow it. And we should have had that game. There's a lot of games.
That was a crazy year because we eventually went back to the Super Bowl. But like I was telling, we lost that game to Dallas. We should have won that one. Then we lose Percy Harvin. We lose to St. Louis. We lose to Kansas City, and we're 6-4.
Let him go, Nick. Let him go. And then, Norb, you're 1 year behind.
I'm not going. What?
You're 1 year behind.
What are you talking about?
You didn't make the Super Bowl that year. Is that 1 year where it was the year where we?
Oh, we're talking 2015. You're right. I'm getting my years mixed up. Never mind. I'm all discombobulated.
Where you went to Carolina for 12 hours.
Yeah. For we were down 31-0. You're right. Sorry. Rewind it back. No, that was the Thomas Rawls 2015 year, right? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yep. Never mind. Anyway, my point is, Bengals. Bad memories of going in there. So, what do we got to do to steal a win out of here, Sky?
We should let Nick LaBow go first.
Okay, let's go, Nick. Nick, we always go to Sky. Nick, break it down for us.
No, I think the defense is going to be a big part. You know, Jamar Chase is coming off a huge game, so he's really going to have to. Our corners, man, Tariq Woolen, I think Witherspoon's going to be on him a lot. So we got to nail him down. Another thing, too, T. Higgins is, I think, likely to play this game, too. So, I mean, their offense is just so dynamic. They have Joe Mixon, too, who's kind of started off a little slow. He's a big goal line rusher. Watch out for him, man. Overall, too, defensive side of the ball, Trey Hendrickson. He has 6 sacks on the year, I think like 5 tackles for losses. He's a good guy, and they got good pieces. So it's not going to be an easy win, but I think if we run the ball well, just kind of execute well. Third downs have kind of been a problem again this season, but really amp up on those. And that'll be what gets us a win.
Not to distract, but the Chiefs have kicked a 52-yard field goal to seal the game pretty much against the Broncos.
Ooh. So that would make it 19-8.
Yep. Knowing Russell, he thinks they still got a chance. They're gonna get the field. They're gonna get the field goal. They're gonna go onside. They're not gonna get it, and then he's gonna yell in the defensive coach's ear, "Get early! Try and knock that ball out before they take a knee." Oh, so yeah, back to the game. I think personally, I think this is gonna be a real. I think slugfest in a sense that both defenses I think are going to find success. I think we need to be able to get to Joe Burrow and force him to make mistakes, and also at the same time get to him and sack him. I think our secondary is it's going to be a test, right? It's going to be tough. I think I'm excited. I really don't know how this is going to play out in a sense for the secondary. I'm really excited. I think the offense, especially our run game. We're going to use a lot of our run game, a lot of Shane's famous recipe. I wouldn't be surprised if we throw the ball downfield. We haven't taken a real deep shot once this year. I think we're going to take the ball downfield, try and steal possessions, try and get ahead with this Bengals team. Is something that we're going to do, and we'll see that reflected in my score prediction. But I think we got to go back in time, right? Or Norb, you got to do your spiel, Norb. Forgot. You got to talk about what you want to see.
I got to do my spiel. Yeah, I'm kind of like you. I'm real. I mean, I always go into every game kind of nervous, but this one in particular, because I really feel like this is since week one, this is our first real test against a legit, playoff team. And I don't care what their record says right now. What we saw of the Bengals the first 2 weeks, or as who was it? I think Chris Collinsworth calls them the Bengals. Or no, it's Chris Sims on what's that show? The Pro Football Talk on PFT. Yeah. He calls them the Bengals. And as Alena said, I'd rather watch the Seahawks play the Bengals than play the Bengals. Do you guys know who the Bengals are?
Bengals.
No. Yeah, you guys weren't even born when this group was. I was in high school when I was listening to the Bengals. Anyway, that's an Alena old person joke. But well, come on now. So I'm with you. It's funny when whenever people bring up keys to the game, because really you kind of just say the same things over and over again. Oh, we got to be good on third down. You got to run the football, stop the run, sack the quarterback. I mean, it's all kind of the same thing. But I think it does come down to key matchups, and obviously, Jamar Chase, that connection with Joe Burrow, we can't have what they did last week happen to us. So I feel like it's going to be a lot of pressure, not just on the corners, but on the safeties as well, to keep them from getting those home run plays. So I'm going to focus in on, I think the key stats for us is going to be third down, both sides of the ball, and time of possession.
Ooh, there you go. Look at that.
I mean, it's nothing new. I'm not inventing I never thought about that. What? But, it doesn't have to be a high-scoring game. We don't have to get 11 sacks. We don't have to blow them out. We just have to do a little bit better than them. And that means keeping the ball in our hands, converting third downs, and scoring when we get, on their side of the field. So I'm not going to say my score prediction because you'll find out in my video tomorrow. But I do want to hear
the previous prediction.
We'll win.
Yes, and I don't have your previous, unfortunately, your dramatic description queued up, Sky-High.
I remember what my score prediction was.
Remind everybody what your prediction was, and maybe Nick. I don't know if you had a prediction made on your own, but what did you have?
Nick, I told Nick's prediction. Nick was 27-23 Seattle win, which was wrong. Mine was 37-20 Seattle win,
closer,
which was closer, I think. Yeah, it was close.
Yeah.
So, also Russell Wilson passed it to the idiot running back and he fumbled. Like, he just dropped the ball, literally.
Fumbled or incomplete?
Fumbled. No, he literally was standing there and he just dropped the ball, pretty much. That's what happened.
So it's a turnover?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Chiefs won.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, all success is expected in the world of the NFL. Poor Broncos. Jeez. Anyway, so you said, what was your prediction? 30-something, 20-something?
37-20 was my prediction for the last week's game. So now we got to get into this week's game.
So, I had last week, my prediction was 24-16. Now, I got the 24 right. So I take pride in the fact that I got the point total for the Seahawks correct. I just gave the Giants too much credit because I said they were going to score 16 and only scored 3. And they should have scored 16, but they had too many sacks and too many turnovers and too many bad plays. But
I need a damn sticker.
Pretty close. We all had the win, though. So now, what are the predictions from you, gents? Nick LaBow, we'll start with you. What is your prediction for the score tomorrow?
I'm keeping it close.
Oh, not tomorrow. Sunday.
Yeah, I wish it was tomorrow. No, I'm keeping it close. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think Bengals are really going to offload a bit. It'll be a tough test on the secondary. And, I mean, their secondary, it's strong, but it's not really the strongest. They lost Jesse Bates in the offseason. That's kind of a big loss for them. I think it's going to be a Tyler Lockett game. I got Seahawks win 31-27 over the Bengals.
Okay. Sky-High, I'm ready for it. We'll give you center stage for this one.
The score is 20-13 in the fourth quarter. The Bengals have tied it up to start the fourth. It's 2020. That's a year to forget. We go down the field, get a field goal, 23-20. Defense gets the stop. Oh, my goodness. It's a strip sack on Joe Burrow. We get the ball, prime position to score a touchdown, which we do running it in with Ken Walker, who's already run for nearly 300. No, I'm just kidding. Nearly 125 yards. Plus, he's got about 35 passing yards. It's 30-20. Cincinnati goes down with about 3 minutes. They get a touchdown. It's 37-20. Geno Smith has the ball. He hands it to Ken. He doesn't get the first down. It's 4th and 2. Goodness. We get the 4th down. We win the game. We punt it. We have to rely on our defense. 4th down and 2 from our own 41-yard line.
Not giving
Geno Smith
very much credit.
Comes out to attempt the 4th down. Under center he is with Ken Walker in the backfield. It's a 3 tight end, 13 personnel set with the wide receiver. Geno Smith takes the snap, steps back, fakes the ball to Walker, turns the corner, lowers the shoulder, sticks the ball across the plane to get the 1st down.
This is a long quarter.
And the Seahawks win 30-27. They almost blow it, but Geno Smith, he puts the game on he puts the team on his back.
Didn't win back.
Because we are the 12th men. We are the loudest fans. Yeah, Seahawks, we got jump back. Yeah. There we go. We're going to win. We're going to 4-1, baby. I'm so excited.
Oh, well, that might be too much of a heart attack, but it will be great if we could get a win no matter what the scenario is. So we'll take it as long as it ends with a W. You'll see my prediction officially tomorrow, and we'll see if my prediction is on or off. Well, I guess all of our predictions will be on or off, and we'll do a recap next time we do the show.
He probably predicted a loss. I would go with it right here, Norb. He's keeping the poker. He's keeping the poker face, but he probably predicted a loss. Oh,
well, you will find out in less than 24 hours. Somebody asked me what time I'm going to premiere the video. So the thing tomorrow is we're going on a high school volleyball tournament in Vancouver, Washington. We got to drive like 3 hours to this high school. So we'll be on the road tomorrow for pretty much most of the afternoon, and then we have evening stuff planned. So I've got to figure out when I'm going to put it out. I definitely have to put it out before I leave. Obviously, it's not going to happen. So I got to finish it tonight and get it up tomorrow. So it'll be sometime, might be late morning when I put it up.
You got to stop
unless I delay it. Unless I delay it and put it in the afternoon. We'll see. But it will be tomorrow sometime. So look for it. And we will be doing a contest with that too. So, the other thing I wanted to tell you guys about too is I don't know if you guys saw my post anywhere, but Watch Party is back, baby. I'm hosting a watch party here. Not Emerald Downs, a different location. A place called Stimpy's. Not my house. It's a place called Stimpy's. No, we're going to Stimpy's, as in Ren and Stimpy. I don't know if you ever heard of that show. But Stimpy's, it's a bar and grill just south of the airport between Kent and Des Moines, off of Pacific Highway South. This is going to be the Rams game on November 19th. So if you guys are local and around the area looking for a place to watch it, and you want to watch it with me and a bunch of fun fans and all that, come out to our watch party on November 19th. It'll be like the old days when we were doing it at Emerald Downs. So I will still live stream the game, just a different venue. But so at least we're doing one. Definitely one this year. Maybe we'll see if we can stick a few more in there.
It's not close to the airport.
It's a little south of the airport. It's all relative. It's not like you can walk there, but it's not a stone's throw away, but you don't have to drive for 2 hours or anything.
Why don't you just live stream the game from the airport? Yeah, just go to the airport and live stream the game.
Well, you'd love that at Sky-High Aviation. You have jets in the background. He'd all be excited. Oh, look at that. It's a 737-400 driven by.
They don't fly anymore.
Yeah, well, someday you'll be flying something. A little puddle jumper to start off with.
A little puddle jumper to start off with.
Seaplane.
Yeah.
Come
take me up. I long for the day when I can officially be a passenger on an airplane flown by Sky-High Aviation. because then I could play this video and connect it to that time. However many, I don't know how many years realistically would it be before I could be on a plane that you fly?
I give it 6 years.
That's not that long. I'll be here in a snap. Really? 6 years? And would that be a commercial jet? Or are you like coming over to Cessna at some municipal airport? Hey, no, meet me at the Renton Municipal Airport. I'd give you a ride in my Cessna.
If you want to meet me at the Renton Municipal Airport, we'll give it less than 2 years. And I'll meet you at the Renton Municipal Airport.
Might be a little sketchy going up. How big is this aircraft?
This aircraft can hold 6 people. We'll be fine.
Because Washington could get some bad weather. What time of year?
I don't know.
Clear summer day?
I'll go up with you in August when it's completely clear, 100% visibility, no wind, no precipitation.
The Braves are down to their last strike.
What's the
so Jose? How about helicopters? Is that in the?
No. I don't want to fly no helicopter, man. I have to take a class about drones. I have a drone. And go fly that over Lumen Field. See how much trouble I get in with the FBI.
Oh yeah.
FAA will show up at my door one day.
Yep.
Here we go. 2 strike count again. White guy deal.
He
struck out.
What's the record right now with the Braves?
The Phillies just eliminated them.
That was it?
Yeah, they're done.
Oh,
Braves,
that was it? I haven't
Braves
paid
won all
attention. I was
those
like,
games.
Susan Mariners were out. I was like, I don't give a crap. But
Braves just won
then I gotta go see. That means poor Sports Live, the ATL. He's gonna be on a rant tonight. I gotta go watch that.
That's embarrassing for the Braves. I ain't gonna lie. You win the most games.
They were dominating the entire season. Like sometimes it's bad to be too dominant because then you get tested and all of a sudden it's like we're not used to this because it's been too easy, right? Wow, I didn't know that was the end of it. Holy cow!
But guess what, Norb?
What?
We are the 12th men. We are the loudest fans. All right, that's all that matters. Seahawks.
That's all that matters. That's right.
Go back, yeah. Seahawks, we got that swag, yeah.
So in case you don't know, that is the 10-year anniversary of the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl. It's also the 10-year anniversary of me writing the "We Got Your Back" song, the first original track that I did before I started doing all the music videos. And that was I released that like right before we went to the Super Bowl. And Sky-High has actually been bugging me for years about this. Like, you need to do an updated version. And I did like a mini update, like, I don't know, 3 years later or something. But it's obviously been a decade. Needs a major renovation because none of the guys, well, except for Bobby, everybody else, besides Pete Carroll and Bobby, the only 2 guys left on the team who are still players or involved in some way. And so Sky-High took the liberty to actually, I said, well, I'm really busy, but if you got lyrical ideas, why don't you shoot me some and we'll work something out. So he did. So Sky-High went on ChatGPT and said, rewrite. We got No. Just kidding. He did not. He did not do that. He actually went and rewrote some custom lyrics specific to this year, and I went and kind of tweaked a couple things, but I really like it. So that's going to be another video that I'm going to do later this season, hopefully, because I think I actually technically released it the later part of the season, like as in January of 2014, which was the playoff time. But that would mean I'd have to release that January 2024 if I wanted to kind of be accurate on the 10-year anniversary release. So hopefully we're talking about that. I saw a news post earlier. They were saying the odds of who would win the NFC. Was it the NFC? I think it's the NFC. They had like 49ers at 55%, Eagles at like 30-something, and then
We're like 7.
Who was the third team? It was the
Cowboys.
Why am I forgetting?
Probably Dallas.
Maybe Cowboys. Yeah, like I don't know, 20% or 18%, and then Seattle at 3% chance they're giving us. But hey, you know what? That's what we like, right? We've always been better when we're the underdog and nobody giving us any credit and not expecting us to do good.
Exactly.
That's when they do the best. So, well, I hope we celebrate a win on Sunday. I will be live streaming. It'll be a 10 a.m. game for us, a 12 o'clock game for Sky-High. So I will not be with my dad and my mom. They've got other obligations, so it'll just be me in the studio with you guys on Discord, hamming it up to watch that game. So
yeah,
let's get it done Sunday.
Let's get it done.
All right. Well, good job, guys. And Sky-High, good job getting those clips together.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, join Discord and join NorbFam. Would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Stay safe, everyone.
Yes, have a great rest of your week. Tomorrow's Friday, Blue Friday already tomorrow, and then then the weekend comes. And people have been asking about the Huskies Ducks game. Now I don't need to ask. I think Nick already posted his Go Dogs earlier, and he's wearing the right colors. So I know that Nick's a Husky guy. I graduated from the UW. I'm a Husky guy, but I don't really know what Sky-High's college affiliation is. Sky-High, do you have a dog in this race between the Ducks and the Dogs?
I'm a Coach Prime man. No, I'm just kidding. I think. Okay, so here's the deal. I'll watch the Huskies, but the thing is with Oregon, I have been a fan of Marcus Mariota when he played at Oregon. Not to discredit the Huskies because their offense is literally like insane and they put up crazy numbers every single week. This is a really tough game to call because Oregon's defense is also really, really tough. I think
Washington's defense is tough too.
I think the Huskies win. I think it's the Huskies win. Michael Penix ends up furthering his case to get the Heisman, but it don't gonna matter because Coach Prime is gonna be in that national championship game. You see they're gonna do it only because of the views, and the money you're gonna get. It's gonna be Georgia versus Coach
Only
Prime.
Taylor Swift was a Colorado fan.
Yeah,
ESPN's
that would tip the scales, big time, wouldn't it?
It'd be crazy. They'd have to build like an extra stadium on top. There's like 50,000 extra seats.
Concert
Coach
at halftime.
Casey Sportster is ranting on this screen.
I want to see this. I want to see this so bad right now. Pull it up.
I feel so bad for him.
Can we pull it up, please? Tyler Parcher will probably be watching that.
Oh man.
Hey,
it's funny how, I mean, I guess right now the whole Taylor Swift thing, obviously diehard football fans are kind of over it by now, but it's working for them because anytime you have like the celebrity girlfriend thing, it's great when you're winning. It's when they start losing. Totally. When Sierra comes into the picture, when Jessica, what was her name? Jessica Simpson and Tony Romo had their thing. Then it became like when it wasn't going well, all of a sudden it's her fault. So right now it's going great for them because Chiefs keep winning. And so all that stuff works great.
Of course, the one game that Taylor Swift doesn't go to, they lose. And then she comes back and they win. So now the narrative's just all
Did you see, though, that I didn't watch the game itself. I had to see this whole kind of recap thing. But the whole end of that Vikings-Chiefs game, the controversy about the flags, no flags thing at the end.
Yeah.
That was really bad. I guess I didn't realize how bad the officiating was at the end. That they could have thrown like 3 flags on the Chiefs. That would have probably ended that game. But
but they're the Chiefs. They got Kelsey, Mahomes. NFL loves them.
I know. Well, now, of course, with the whole, now they got the trifecta of the Taylor Swift thing. It's like they don't want to mess with that sucker. It's like, oh man, you would not want to be a team in the Chiefs' schedule right now. It's like, oh crap, we came in right in the middle of the tsunami wave of publicity and mojo going their way. Poor Russ. Oh well. It's gonna happen, man. Those guys they're 1-4 or 1-5.
He won't be.
They're 1-5, right? I mean, their season's done.
Yeah.
They're not going anywhere. I mean, do they blow this thing up? I don't know what Denver does at this point, but
you got to cut Russ's contract, man. That is horrible.
The contract is hamstringing that team. I mean, their defense sucks, but they can't do anything about it because
cut it out. He'll be gone. I mean,
it's
if they
sad
get the first
because it's not. Well, I didn't watch.
If they get the first overall pick and Caleb Williams is on the board, tell me you'd rather have a 34, 35-year-old Russ on that contract or Caleb Williams?
Well,
wait, we don't get their first round pick this year? I can't remember.
No, we don't. We get a 3rd round pick from them.
I was like, what if we got the first round pick this year? Whoa, that changes things.
That'd be fun.
That'd be insane.
No, we used up all of our clout from that trade. That's all gone now. Doesn't affect us anymore, right?
Who knows? Maybe that 3rd round pick will be a Hall of Famer. ad.
Exactly. That will allow us to. We will be screaming so loud. Our
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. See.
Oh man. Yeah,
Oh,
poor
man.
Broncos. Oh well, not our problem.
We'll make sure Sleeta is okay. Because I'm
Yeah.
probably knowing the Astros, I'll probably have to suffer like that at some point. And,
I hope so.
football. I'm that kind of sports fan that just lets the sports results dictate my mental health for the next large amount of time.
I'll tell you that Tuesday after the Giants win, that was a great Tuesday.
That was a great Tuesday.
Oh,
yeah,
it was fantastic. It was great, and there's nothing better than getting not only a primetime win, but a win going into your bye, because then you get to just soak in all the kudos and all the defensive player of the week and all that stuff for a whole 2 weeks before you have to start worrying about the next opponent again.
exactly.
Nothing worse than having to sulk in misery for 2 weeks. And then
But it ain't gonna
work on the
matter.
next one.
Coach
That's right.
Prime, he's coming to the NFL. He's finna take over the Bears and make them winners of 7 games. Only 7. But it's going to be so much better than what they are now.
No transfer portal in the NFL.
He going to bring his son. He going to bring
In the
his
NFL,
son.
you
He
have a
going to
salary cap.
He going
You
to bring
don't
his
have a
salary
100
cap and-
dogs. Oh, he going to bring all his dogs here. I tell you right now, bro. Coach Prime, he's a dog.
This is a rare form of Sky-High tonight. Look at this. This comment, Happy Gav says the only thing stopping the defenses are DC. Get Cliff hurt. Hurt out of here. Get DC. Wow. On the heels of one of the greatest performances our defense has had, granted against a very bad team, still a hater. Man, what's the guy got to do? It's like, I gave you picks, I gave you interceptions, a pick 6, and 11 sacks, and I'm still not good enough for you? Guess
You know who we could hire? You know who we should hire? Bill Marsh. We're gonna turn that defense around. I'm telling you right now. We're gonna have 35 interceptions, 340 sacks. It is gonna be great.
Sky-High on something tonight. Sky-High with the emphasis on high. Definitely Sky-High.
No, I promise.
High on life.
Norb, you
High on
saw him
life.
tightening those screws that he had loose in his head.
Exactly. I got the tools.
I know. It's Frankenstein style over there.
True. So yeah. But yeah, Bill Marsh for defensive coordinator, I guess. We got to get him back. I miss him. I miss him so much, man. He was a good guy to be around. Norb, you gotta start talking to him again. You gotta say, hey, come back on the show. Come on. Come embarrass these guys a little bit. Show them how much little they know about football. Come on.
Yeah, right. We'll see what we can do here. All right.
Seahawks Martin's doing podcasts without you now. I hope you know that. He's betrayed you. He has betrayed you.
You got to do 1 week where you bring back the whole round table,
where's
do
Brian
a
Apker?
Kahoot,
Where's
get
Brian
Daniel
Apker?
Jones
I made a logo for Brian Apker.
I know. That was really cool, too.
Where is he? Where's Brian Apker? Where's New York Vinny? Where's all these guys? Where's Squavo? Where's Steezy? We need everybody back.
Squavo's out there. He's grinding the grind, doing the news thing and all that.
We need a 10-man round table. That would be insane.
Hey, everybody, no one can get a word in.
Those got crazy.
Man, life sucks now.
Especially after the whole hacker.
Life sucks now that I don't have to look forward to a Kahoot anymore and a special guest appearance on NorbFam and
the Kahoots. I don't know. I have to do the Kahoots for fun.
Yeah,
I've been having a lot of.
Until you got 100 bots in there.
I know. Somebody messed things up.
Yeah.
Nuts.
And you realize like people could look up the Kahoots and find the answers to them.
Well, it's all about speed.
Exactly. It's all about who gets the questions fastest. Yeah. Who gets the questions fastest, and if you get it right, you get to meet Norb.
And now
Norb's toilet. Norb's toilet. Oh my god. Oh, I remember that.
That's one thing I think of 2020, the whole pandemic thing, while it was such a weird chapter, obviously not a great chapter for a lot of reasons.
Are we live?
We're still going, man. I haven't cut this off yet. I can't believe people are still watching. There's a handful of people like, apparently nothing better to do on a Thursday night than listen to us yammer away on stuff. But 2020 was fun. There were so many things that we got to do because we had so much time on our hands. all that stuff happened in the Discord and getting all those round tables and everything was, the cahoots, all that. That was all 2020 pandemic inspired, where everybody just had, well, I can't go anywhere, so let's have fun on our computers.
Like 4 hours a day. The rest of the day should do whatever.
Yeah.
NorbFam.
It was fun. I was looking up again. I because of this video, I've been looking at all these plays from different teams over the years and stuff. And I went back to watch that Cowboys game from 2020. Remember the game where Metcalf eased up and got the ball knocked out of his hands? That was when they had that fake crowd noise because there was no one in the stands, remember? And so I was watching and I was listening to it. And I was like, that's weird that the crowd didn't react bigger on that play. That's right. There is no crowd. They were faking it. They did a pretty good job, though, considering that somebody's, I don't know how they were doing it, but somebody was on that, like, okay, here's the button for just normal stuff, and here's it's getting exciting, push the excitement button, and they did a good job faking it, all things considered. I heard it was weird, though, in the stadium, because they had a crowd drone sound of just like but it was always the same level. So it wasn't dead quiet. I know this because I spoke to the guy who runs the game day operations, and he was saying how it was just so eerily weird because they could only turn up to a certain volume, but it was always consistent. So there was never a big up or down. It was just a constant murmur of crowd. But it was so quiet that they had to be careful because it was so quiet. You could hear the other people's huddle if they spoke too loud. So they had to literally keep your voice down, otherwise you're going to hear the plays.
I've heard player interviews.
You should have gone
and yelling across the field.
You should have gone ahead and asked. You should have gone ahead and asked him what that third down sound is that I keep hearing through my TV in the game.
Oh, you mean the low drone? That?
It sounds like that, but they play it on third down. It's like the
ring.
And then the guy goes third.
No, it's a low bass sound. In the stadium, it's a low bass. Yeah. What TV are you listening to on?
Why do they play that, though? It's just like it's like a
third
sound.
Down.
No, it's but it doesn't sound like that. You sound like a little hummingbird or something. No, it's like a
dorm TV.
Third down. So in the stadium, it's a low dramatic bass note held to kind of get everybody cheered.
I like that sound. That's my favorite.
That sounds like
exactly
flatline.
What it sounds like.
It doesn't sound like that, though.
It sounds like that I like that sound.
Probably on a laptop speaker, since there's probably no bass on it. It probably does sound like that.
It's a humming sound. It almost sounds like a low humming.
Yeah,
it's a low drone. It's a low drone. But
that's what it's called. I just want to have a clear version of it.
Sky-High's something's up, man. I'm convinced.
No, nothing's up. I just want to know. I just want to know, man. Like we switched after we switched PA announcers like 2 years ago. I think the whole game day presentation sucks now. They changed the first.
You don't like the new guy?
I don't. I mean, he's normal.
He's very over the top. He's definitely more dramatic now than the other guy.
I miss the old guy. The old guy was.
Gosh, guys. Marshall Lynch just ran for 60 yards.
The old guy was like, and that's good for another Seahawks first down, and they would play like the little low bass, and then an actual Hawk sound would be like, wee.
I'm just mad the NFL banned the fire.
Yeah, the fire was awesome too. Now we get like shitty.
It's just a little steam.
Screen.
Well, you know why, right? You know why they banned it, right?
Because the field caught on fire.
I think it was Tennessee. Tennessee had one of those things that fell over, and then the flames burned the field, so they banned it after that.
I was told it was a temporary ban, so I don't know when
why did we get rid of the metal Seahawk that they ran out of? I mean, now the screen's just kind of lame.
Yeah, I like the lights inside, but they were doing that already, the laser beams inside. That part's cool.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
you can see behind. You can see who's in front of the who's about.
It looks like they're running out of a light bright. They're running out of a giant light bright set. These panels with bulbs on it instead of the this metal gridiron thing. It's this kind of it looks like a bunch of it literally looks like a light bright.
Yeah. Not to mention the Toyota. The Toyota fan deck is cursed. I think I've been gone on. We haven't made it back to the NFC Championship since they put the Toyota fan deck.
Ever since they modified it and made it the big thing that it is now?
it used to just be like the sign that said Blue Thunder and then a stage.
Right.
You
Yeah.
would just walk on, and then now they just changed it, and it's all weird now and all that, and probably now charging $40 for like 6 pieces of sushi that you go there, like it's
all about the money.
what the heck, man? It's all about whatever happened to like cheap trash food. Like they still got garlic fries there, right? They still got Ivar's.
I think so. They do on the Mariner games. I don't know if they have that at.
They have Ivar's.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't really.
Yeah, Norb,
see
you go
garlic
there.
fries. I'm opening that. AD in the chat had a super chat. Say, hey Bubs, Discord want to talk to you. LOL. So I'm opening it up. So
I'm hungry. I gotta eat.
good night, all.
Night.
See ya.
Good night, buddy.
See you next week, everyone.
Good night. Go Hawks, baby.